All right, welcome back, everybody, to Politics and Profits. I'm Rick Amato. Our debut show nationally on the Biz TV network, now available in real time in 20 cities across America, on demand at Roku, on demand with Amazon Fire Stick, in real time at Ustream.tv. And you can watch every episode on demand at our website, politicsandprofits.com. So glad to have you with us. Reminder, we're giving away a free copy of the book, Money, Morality, and the Machine, written by CEO Craig Smith, CEO of Swiss America Trading Corp. Great book, folks. You got to buy it if you're interested in how politics and government affect the financial markets, affect the job market, affect the economy. Call 1-800-289-2646. That's 1-800-289-2646. Mention Rick Amato and get your free copy autographed of the book, Money, Morality, and the Machine, autographed by CEO Craig Smith. All right, let's switch gears up here a moment. We've been talking about jobs, talking about the financial markets, talking about the U.S. economy. All that is related to a different topic, and that is something known as America's invisible population. What is America's invisible population, you ask? It is perhaps another cliche, if you will, could be America's dirty little secret. Our growing homeless population. Join me at this time in studio is Deacon Jimmy Vargas. He is the CEO of Father Joe's Villages, which is located in Southern California and helps the homeless population get off the streets, teaches them life skills, rehabilitates them to get back out on the street and living a life which they want to live in the first place. Deacon Jimmy Vargas joins me in studio. Good to see you, Deacon.
It's good to be here.
Okay, let's quantify. How big is this population? We're in Southern California. It's massive here. One would imagine the weather has a lot to do with that, but not everything. Right. We're in San Diego, and of course, it's a military town. And we see a lot of PTSD veterans. Mm-hmm. How big is this population, and is it growing?
As far as size is concerned, and across the U.S., we have about 550,000 who are homeless as you and I speak here. And a third of them are on the streets. Right? That's a big number. So about 200,000 men, women, and children who are on the streets. And I mentioned children, about 20% of that 550 are children. So that's about 100,000 in itself. So it's a big number.
Is it a growing number?
And it's been growing. Yeah, I would say the last 2 years has pretty much been stable. 2015, 2016, it's been about $550,000, but it has grown over the years, most definitely.
Why is it stabilized, do you know? In the last year or two?
And I don't know that looking at these last 2 years, the fact that they're pretty much about the same number, I wouldn't call that stability, okay? Because I think, the numbers have been growing on the streets. We see it in a town like ours in San Diego. I mean, we went from being having the fifth largest homeless population to now having the fourth largest homeless population ourselves. So it's growing.
We have a president, of course, who is all about the economy. That's his background, business. And I don't know if you saw the numbers this week, late in the week, Friday, Thursday came out, biggest job growth numbers in 10 years, impressive wage increases, manufacturing jobs growing. I bring this up because I'm under the impression, Deacon Jimmy, that when the economy grows and the American population by and large feels stable in their jobs, then charitable giving grows. And that charitable giving could provide solutions to this homeless population. Am I wrong on this?
I would agree with that. I think we want a healthy economy, right? So the fact that the economy is growing, it's a good thing, right? And to your point, yes, and the hope is, and we do see it, then charitable giving then grows along with it as well. Now, having said that, when we have a prospering economy, what happens, as you can imagine, and makes sense, is that then rents go up, right? The economy is booming, so the rental market goes up. And so that's very devastating for our population, obviously, because the number one thing that impacts those who are on the streets is lack of affordability in housing, pure and simple.
Now this is important. I would think that most Americans would suspect that the homeless population is by and large those that have a mental disorder. But what you're saying is the number one reason for a person being homeless is not a mental disorder, it's a financial problem.
Yeah, especially in those areas like San Diego, because San Diego is a very expensive market, and we see it in other similar markets as well, that the lack of affordability is really what's causing people to fall into homelessness. Here in San Diego, we have the least affordable rental market in the entire United States.
Really?
Yeah. And then, I mean, and that surprises people, but we absolutely do. And so that's very impactful to those who are on the streets, those who are just hanging on in a sense, and so they fall into homelessness. Not to say that there isn't mental health issues there as well, as far as substance abuse issues and a lot of other things. But again, depending upon the market, the lack of affordability in housing is very, very critical.
What should the government be doing? If you had a meeting with President Trump, what would you advise him that the government should be doing, if anything?
No, I think they should be doing it, and it should be a partnership between the public and the private sector as well. And what we need, at the end of the day, we need housing. I mean, across the board, it doesn't matter with San Diego, anywhere in the United States. I mean, you know, we have interim housing, emergency type of shelters, transitional housing. There's various forms of housing, but at the end of the day, that just takes people off the street for a period of time, whether it be overnight, a few days, a few months. What's going to be really impactful for them is if we're able to bring them in, provide the services that they need so that they can get up, feel good about themselves, start making a contribution to society, and put them into housing. The lack of that housing means they will fall back into homelessness and onto the streets.
You mentioned getting them productive. You didn't use that word, but something similar. I forget the exact word you used. Our viewers across America may be surprised to hear what you're doing at Father Joe's Villages. It's pretty unique. In less than a minute or so, if you could describe how you're helping those homeless get off the street and then teaching them or reteaching their life skills.
Right. Well, we bring them in, and everyone is unique, obviously, and their needs are different. And so we do an assessment, and we have a medical clinic as well, and we have a great partnership with UCSD, a great medical school, where we have physicians there who have a dual residency in psychiatry as well as family practice. So they're able to assess their physical condition, their mental condition as well, and then start helping them in that regard as well. But then also we put them on a track to be able to learn life skills, to be able to get their GEDs, whatever they need in order to be able to find a job so that they can have income. In order to keep an apartment, you need income. And so whatever they need in order to really put them on their feet so that they're able to provide for themselves.
All right, Deacon Jimmy Vargas, CEO of Father Joe's Villages. It's an important topic, one that does not get talked about. We call it America's Invisible Population.
I'm glad you're focusing on it.
We thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
When we come back, Trump University, the lawsuit goes on. Back after this.